When many of us were kids, we received our routine vaccinations, no question about it. Nowadays, this is not necessarily the case. Many parents are refusing to vaccinate their children today. This is because rumors have been spreading about the quality and safety of vaccines. Many people believe that vaccines are deadly and can cause great harm to our bodies, which is not necessarily true. So today, I'm going to tell you why vaccines are important not only to your children's health, but to your health as well. Before we talk about why vaccines are important, it's good to know a brief history of how they came about. If you are in the medical community, you've heard the name Edward Jenner at least once before. Jenner is the father of vaccines and is credited for creating the very first vaccine. This all came about when Jenner realized that milkmaids who contracted cowpox did not get the disease of smallpox. Smallpox at the time was a deadly epidemic. So Jenner took things into his own hands and created his own experiment. Jenner took a young boy and inoculated him with the cowpox pathogen. The boy got cowpox, but recovered really quickly and was fine. A few weeks later, when he was healthy again, Jenner inoculated the same boy with the smallpox pathogen. To his surprise, the boy did not contract this deadly disease, thus proving his experiment correct. This was the creation of the first vaccine that would save thousands of lives in the future. One of the main arguments against vaccines is that it causes autism. This is a fear that holds many people back from vaccinating their children. According to the CDC, there's absolutely no connection between vaccines and autism. Thousands of valid research studies have been done by the Institute of Medicine proving that there's absolutely no connection between the two. So where did this all start? Well, it all started with Andrew Wakefield's paper, The Lancet, that was published in 1998. According to Science-Based Medicine, Wakefield in his paper proved that the MMR vaccine is linked to autism. But when other researchers tried to replicate the study, they were unable to do so. And when you are unable to replicate another person's research study, it is considered a poor research study. Years later, it was discovered that Wakefield had falsified data, and his experiment was considered fraud and his paper retracted. On top of this, Wakefield also lost his medical license for other malpractice accusations. To me, it is much more logical to trust a source such as the CDC that has conducted thousands of valid research studies than to believe another individual who's lost their medical license and whose research has been retracted and considered fraud. There's also another major problem with this argument. How does this reflect the way our society views those with autism? Would we rather have our children die from deadly diseases such as polio than have our child be autistic? Autistic children are valuable members of our society and should be treated as such. Another important topic to discuss is the idea of herd immunity. Vaccines aren't always about you. When people are vaccinated, you're not only protecting yourself, but those around you as well. When more people are vaccinated, it makes the likelihood of others who can't get vaccinated much slimmer of them contracting a disease. Certain people can't get vaccines, like the elderly, cancer patients, and pregnant women. But when the majority of the population is vaccinated, this protects them. When the majority of the population is protected, it makes disease progression much more difficult. This is called herd immunity. I'll be playing a video to describe herd immunity in further detail. Like I said earlier, vaccines aren't always about you. For example, you could get the flu and recover just fine in a week. But say your elderly grandmother, who has a weak immune system, gets the flu. The results could be very different from yours. The flu, which can be harmful or not harmful to you, could be deadly for her. It is very important to vaccine to protect against diseases like the flu that can be deadly to other people. Another concern about vaccines is the ingredients. Many people believe that vaccines are toxic and can harm our bodies. This is a valid point considering it is always good to know what we are putting into our bodies. But thousands and thousands of research studies have been done and tested to make sure vaccines are safe and beneficial to our bodies. For example, many people are fearful of the fact that vaccines contain formaldehyde. But what many people don't know is that our bodies naturally produce formaldehyde, and it's not just used to protect or to preserve a 7th grade frog dissection. According to the to Immunize Nevada, the amount of formaldehyde found in vaccines is significantly smaller than what is naturally occurring in our bodies, making it safe. People are also afraid of the fact that aluminum is found in vaccines as well. But we consume aluminum on a daily basis through food and water. Infants also consume aluminum through breast milk. On a daily average, we consume 30 to 50 milligrams of aluminum a day. On average, the vaccines that we are immunized with contain 0.625 milligrams of aluminum. That is the max dose any vaccine has, not even 1 full milligram. This is less than 1% of the daily average consumption of aluminum, which is not harmful to our bodies. In conclusion, vaccines are important to keep our population happy and healthy. The more people are immunized, the less likely certain individuals are to get certain diseases. Since the anti-vaccine movement, certain diseases such as polio, mumps, and rubella that were almost completely eradicated have been popping up all over the U.S. Remember, vaccines are not just about protecting yourself, but those around you as well. Thank you.